Guys, when I started riding, one of the most confusing things ever to me was the clutch on a motorcycle. I had never driven a manual car at the time, so I just didn't understand the concept of how that worked. And based on the comment section of videos that I make for beginner riders these days, I think there's a lot of you guys out there that also are confused about how to use a clutch. The cool thing is, with this brand new 2024 Honda CBR 650R equipped with the new Honda EClutch, that whole clutch problem might be a thing of the past. So guys, Honda has us out today to test out their new EClutch, which is equipped on their 2024 CBR 650R, as well as the CB 650R. We're gonna be getting track time in here to get used to using the EClutch. Then we're gonna be riding around the mountain roads, the roads I absolutely love here in North Georgia. And I'm interested to see how this is gonna be for a beginner rider, but I'm also interested to see, as a experienced rider that knows what I'm doing, how is the EClutch gonna be useful for me in my style riding. Stick around, we're gonna find all that out today. It should be a phenomenal time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared to try this for the first time, but let's see how it goes. All right, guys, we're about to try the EClutch for the very first time. A little scared on this. Okay, this green light means the EClutch is on. So we're gonna get the bike started. And now, hypothetically, the EClutch is right here, it's on. I see the light. If I click into neutral without touching the clutch at all, everything will be okay. Oh God, everything I know about riding motorcycles tells me this is wrong. Ah, okay, that worked. That worked. We're in first. Can I shift up in a second? I can. And it tells me, bro, you don't need to be in second. Okay. We're going into first. I'm not going to touch it. And we're just going to ride off. Oh my God. Holy crap. Okay. That's awesome. Okay, hold on. Now, I'm not touching the clutch. I'm now in second. Will it pull off? It will pull off. Okay, can I get into neutral? Getting into neutral might be a little rough. Oh, there it is, there it is. Okay, no clutch touched. Wow, dude, that is insanity. And now I can just, holy crap, wow. Okay. All right, guys, I've been playing around with it in the parking lot, but we're at a racetrack, so I'm gonna get my airbag vest on and I'm gonna do some laps around the track and see how this thing is actually rolling with it. This is this is about to be awesome. That was awesome so far. My friends, throughout this video, you're gonna see me wearing these sunglasses as you have been for the last few years. These, my friends, are Flying Eyes. They are the thinnest and most amazing motorcycle sunglasses. Once you try them out and you wear them and ride around, be careful, because it ruins every pair of sunglasses. They are indestructible. They have tons of frames that look absolutely awesome. I don't know what these are called, but they're called this. I love them. They're thin. You can bend them. And I have a coupon code that you guys can use in the description down below. Thank you, Flying Eyes, for sponsoring this video. I will keep my eyes protected thanks to you. If you guys want to grab some, links in the description as always. Bye. I just realized I might not have explained to you guys what the EClutch actually is. And it's this piece up top that says EClutch, and it comes down and into these two cylinders. These are the two motors that run the EClutch. So it's this piece right here that is the actual mechanism. All right, guys, I've done played in the parking lot. Now, before we get onto the track, I do want to show you guys a setting that I want to make sure is changed from me, just for personal preference. So we'll put the clutch in. It's in neutral. It's activated. Cool. Now, if we go into the menu, you can actually change the shift point. No, not the shift point. Honda EClutch. There you go. So up and down, and you can change the sensitivity of the shifter. So I personally like a harder shifter. I don't want to barely touch it and it shift. So I'm gonna keep all of those settings in hard. Now, if I wanted to turn the EClutch off, I literally can do that. And if I do that, guys, this bike is totally normal, other than the fact it has 4 extra pounds sitting on the side of it. Okay, let's, oh wait, we don't touch that. I'm gonna have to remind myself that all day, boys. All right, let's get on the track and see what she feels like. Oh, that's nice. I hate this turn. I'm so bad at it. But having not to use the clutch is fantastic. That handles those shifts so well. Oh, that's awesome. It does the job. Oh, even at the higher shift in the revs. Oh, that's awesome. Dude, it does it better than I could. Which, to be fair, is not going to say a lot, but like right there, bro, that's so high revs. Oh, that's amazing. And you can send it the whole way. Bro, even on a track. Bike's a little vibrating, I'm not gonna lie, but can I get a first? Oh, I can. I got the power? Yes, dude, absolutely. I get to literally just focus on making sure I'm in the right gear. That's all I gotta do. I don't love the gearing on the back because I run out of gear for where I wanna be. So it's not ideal, but that's what this bike is right now, you know? Getting my boot underneath there's not a problem though. Other than wanting a little bit higher of a gear, the clutch is doing a phenomenal job banging it all the way down. Woo! Dude, that does such a good job. I am really surprised that it can handle that at such high RPMs. Honestly surprised. Because like, the track is not necessarily where you're going to be utilizing that EClutch. And a quick up and down shifter will do that just fine. It's really the city riding area and the getting starting and stopping that I think most people will want this. But the fact that it hopefully will be good on the street and can handle the track, that's fantastic. Because I was a little worried. I was a little worried that it would be, so focused on the street. Oh, second gear is so smoother. I was worried it was going to be so focused on the street that with the bike being so street focused with the EClutch, I was like, will it be able to handle really high RPM? And I am at redline. I'm not above redline, but I'm at redline. See how fast we can get up to. I gotta come in with a lot more speed. Shocked. Absolutely shocked that it can handle such pressure. And it is quick, dude. And it's got such a great feel. Such a good feel, honestly. Like, good feel back. It feels like a little punch, which I'm sorry, Honda. I did expect it to be a little soft. Not the case at all. Wow. For a system built for people to ride on the road and not have to use a clutch, that performed way better than I expected it to. Holy crap.
All right, guys, we spent some time out on the track, and I realized I forgot to tell you guys something that I think is absolutely insane. Typically, with like new technology, right, it's going to be a little expensive. So Honda told us the price for these models, the CBR 650R and the CB 650R. The price has not changed. And EClutch is in every one of those now. Like, that's the new thing. You can't even get a manual, even though the EClutch is a manual if you turn it off, but you guys get what I'm saying. So no price change, and you get all of that technology. How nuts is that? Super big deal. Wanted to mention it, had it in my notes, and didn't want to forget.
All right, so guys, I want to show y'all one of the coolest things about this whole EClutch system. If you don't touch the clutch, it stays in EClutch, right? And you can just go from first, you won't stall. I'm not touching the clutch at all. And then if I want to come to a stop, I just let off the throttle. I can do some front brake. I never touch the clutch. Here's the weird thing. If I pull the clutch in, like right now, it feels like nothingness. So if I pull the clutch in, now the weight comes back into the clutch, and this bike is totally normal. And watch, I can get it bogged down for a second. And now the EClutch turns back on. So if you want to operate this motorcycle totally like a regular motorcycle, one, you can pull the clutch in. At low speed, you have to be rolling for 5 seconds for the EClutch to engage back again. And then if you're at a higher speed, you have to be rolling for 1 second, and that's when the EClutch will turn back on. So what happens if we just let go of the clutch? Turns back on, and now we're going again. And just to show, we can come to a stop. There we go. You can operate this as a totally normal motorcycle, even with the EClutch turned on. Obviously, you go into the menu, you know, EClutch. Okay, so let's get in neutral. So I guess I have to be in neutral to turn the EClutch off. Okay, now EClutch is off, and it has a little M, manual. I've got all my feel back into the clutch, and now I can just use it as a regular bike. So now I'm just rolling, and if I let the clutch out, the engine starts engaging. Hypothetically, I could stall if I wasn't just rolling. Now I'm in neutral. I've got the M warning. So now if I go over, I can just turn my EClutch on. Boom. EClutch is there. I'm interested to see how this works on the street and how seamless I can go from manual to EClutch. And I want to know that transition. That is going to be really interesting to me. All right, guys, we have had our fun here at AMP. Everybody's on the CBs and the CBRs. So now we've got about an hour ride to lunch. This is going to be where we're actually going to get to test the EClutch out, because on the track, everything's been an up and down quick shifter. So I feel like the road ride is going to really help me understand like how this is going to be for a road vehicle. So we'll see how it goes. Pretty excited to grab the CB. And then after lunch, I'll jump on a CBR. We've had our fun at the track. Now we get to have our fun on some beautiful North Georgia roads, guys. So guys, while we got these beautiful roads here, let's talk about the difference in the EClutch and DCT. I know when Honda first told me about the EClutch, and you know, before I did my research on it, I was curious. I was like, okay, you've already got DCT, so like, well, how is EClutch any different? So DCT is an entirely different transmission system that is going to be doing the shifting for you. The EClutch, all it is doing, and it's genius the way they do it, it removes the need to use the clutch, but you as the rider still do all the shifting. So it basically puts the bike into a automatic clutch mode where you shift up and down. All you have to not care about is that clutch, but you get all the experience of riding the bike and doing the shifting. You just don't have to worry about the clutch. So this bike is not going to shift for you. It's not going to ride for you. You are deciding what gear you're in and all that kind of stuff. And like I've probably mentioned in the video already, you can override the EClutch just by pulling that clutch in or turning it off inside the system. It is an absolutely fascinating system, and I am super excited about it. Also, I want to give a shout out to Honda. Genius idea to start us out at a track, because now all of my I want to go fast is done, and I can just like enjoy the bike for what it is. So that was big boy moves on that one. So at this stop sign, I'm going to show you guys one of the negatives I have of the bike so far, and that's the initial hit from off throttle. So if I come to a stop and then I start going, oh, well, that one did good. So when I'm a little lighter on the throttle, I noticed that it kind of jerks a little bit. It hits the power pretty aggressively, or relatively aggressively, but I just gave it more throttle from a stop, and the clutch feathered itself out. So maybe earlier when I was in the parking lot going really slow is when that was affected. It wasn't when you're at speed. That actually did a phenomenal job of feathering the clutch out. You know, one thing I'm noticing the EClutch is allowing me to do is I'm focusing more on the gear that I'm actually in and I spend less energy trying to figure out how to get into that gear. And that might sound a little interesting or weird, but there's a lot of times where I'll be in you're riding a technical road and you're like, shit, I'm not in the right gear that I want to be in. And then you're like, well, I don't want to upset the bike. And if the bike's going to get upset, I got to do it at a cautious time. But the EClutch allows for the gear change so smoothly that you can do it in a lot more scenarios. And I'm finding myself being able to have that mentality to focus on where I need to be in gear-wise, because the EClutch is going to smooth it out so well. That's really awesome. Quick shifters are a little more abrupt and cause a little more upsetness in the chassis. EClutch, like, look, in the middle of a turn, shouldn't do this, but so smooth. Doesn't get upset nearly as much. That's really cool. Allows you to focus on different stuff. I made it through the entire day. I'm exhausted. Oh my God, allow me to take a seat. Okay, overall thoughts on the EClutch. Absolutely love this. Mainly because as a more skilled rider, I can just turn it off and the bike's no different than it otherwise would be, other than the 4.5 pounds added for the EClutch system. In traffic, it is, oh God, it's so nice in traffic. I think all my batteries died in my POV camera, the camera's on my helmet, but on the way here, we got stuck in, like, you guys know the traffic where you see a bus with the red blinking lights like 3 miles ahead and it's just a line of cars. We got stuck in that, and having the EClutch was so nice because you just put it in first or second, doesn't matter, and you just putter along. It was so nice. No hand crampage on the left side. That was fantastic. And of course, we hit the worst traffic when all my cameras were dead, so whatever it is. But I'm glad we got a scenario where we could see it in action, and boy, did it not disappoint. Okay, so quick pros and cons of the bikes. This is not judging the bikes at all, but more just the EClutch system. I'll do bike reviews on these if Honda lets us have some. So I love it for using clutchless because it offers a safe environment for somebody that doesn't know how to use a clutch. Like when I started riding, had no idea. I could have got a bike like this and I could have learned at my own pace the clutch system, but it wouldn't have stopped me from riding the motorcycle. I love that. Another thing I was really surprised with was with the EClutch, you're not using the clutch at all. And I thought it would be weird, kind of like it is with an electric bike. If you guys have ever ridden those, there's no clutch. You just kind of like a scooter, you just go. And it takes me a long time on those bikes to get used to that whole scenario. This thing took me maybe an hour max before I was like, okay, cool. And you just accept the system. And it's because so much of the system is the same. It's just the clutch. So it allows you to get used to that a lot faster. So I'm sure you guys are curious. If you notice, the little EClutch system here sticks out the most of the engine on the right side. And a few of us were asking, okay, so what happens if we low side on the right side and we have to get that replaced? Fun story. The EClutch is a tinier piece than the overall case on the right side, and because of that, it would actually be cheaper. It's not an engine slider, but it would be cheaper than having to replace the regular entire case on the right side, which is interesting. So that's kind of cool. Okay, going to cons. So it weighs 4.5 pounds. It adds 4.5 pounds to the overall motorcycle. These are 650s. You cannot feel 4.5 pounds, so it's technically a heavier bike, but if you're worried about 4.5 pounds, you have the least problems in the entire world. So I put this in the cons. It's another technicality, but the EClutch is the most sticking out point, and it sticks out a little bit. If you aren't used to looking at the sides of engines on motorcycles, you wouldn't even notice it. But the engine has a little piece that sticks out. So it's technically a con. Look, I'm trying to find them, okay? It's a little hard on this one. I think I mentioned with you guys, when going from no power to light power,
there is a little bit of a jerk, a hit of power. I found out that giving it a lot of throttle, the clutch would slowly open, and it would be a lot smoother off if you were just like gunned it. But if you are doing like parking lot stuff, it is a little jerky, or it can be jerky at some times. I was talking to one of the Honda people, and they said once the ride cables are stretched a little bit and used, you could tighten it up and loosen or get rid of some of that throttle slack. And he said that might solve the problem. But you know, if we have one of these as a long-term loaner, I can try that, but I'm not going to try that on a bike where I only have one day to ride it. Okay, something super weird. When the EClutch is engaged, it basically makes your clutch lever dead with barely any friction. That was real freaky the first time I touched it. It makes you feel like your clutch cable has broke. So just know that it's going to happen. It doesn't matter. When the EClutch system is turned off, the friction on the clutch is back. That was just really weird for me the first time I touched it. I called it a dead clutch, so just you guys can do with that what you will. And then I said it's kind of weird going at low speed, because when you're on a motorcycle, your clutch is what you use to kind of do navigating and moving the bike around a lot when you're going at a lower speed. So relinquishing that ability to do that is a little strange, and it takes some getting used to. I do think I could be more smooth at low speed stuff around a parking lot with a regular clutch. But that's just, I guess, part of the system. That is my last con. I have in here, is it worth it over a quick shifter? Yes, because it does everything a quick shifter does, plus, and it doesn't cost anything more. I don't understand how that's a thing. Okay, would you want it on your next bike? Yes, absolutely. As a rider that rides in all sorts of conditions, I love this. I love this clutch for riders like me that know what they're doing, but I also absolutely love it for beginner riders. This is an absolute ball knocked out of the park, and I do think they picked some good bikes to put it on, because a wide variety of people can pick up either the CB650R or the CBR650R and have an absolutely phenomenal time with this awesome new technology that literally doesn't cost you any extra. It's so strange. Okay, guys, that's it for me. I'm about to get on my MT10 and ride home. If you made it to this point in the video, you're in the outro crew. Thank you guys so much for getting to the end of the video. You guys are absolutely phenomenal and help the channel be what it is. You guys know I love you extra long time. So, OC, put OC in your comment down below after you like the video, and let me know, is this type of system, based on the way I've described it to you, something that you guys are interested in? I know you guys didn't get to ride it with me today, but based on everything I've been telling you, let me know what you think about it. I personally love this. I could not be more excited for entry-level riders right now, and I think that's going to be an absolute game changer in helping people get into this space. Anyway, guys, I'm Chase on Two Wheels. You guys go ride safe out there. I am going to go sweat to death, and I'll see you on the next video.